Hello, my viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. New subscribers, welcome. Returning subscribers, welcome back. Guys, in this video, I'm going to tell you about the Finsac documentary and report that is about to be released. Finsac victims are very happy to hear this. Those who are still alive, they have been waiting for decades to hear the Finsac report paid for by the Jamaican taxpayers. So according to the Jamaica Information Service, the government will publish on a specially curated website the Finsac Commission archives, comprising all of the evidence provided and the submissions made to the Finsac Commission. This was announced by Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, who said this will be done as soon as practically possible. All of this archive data will be put out in volumes, in chapters, in folders, and made available to the public. Dr. Clark made the announcement while opening the 2024-25 budget debate in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, March 12th. The Finsac Commission was established on January 12 of 2009 and tasked to, among other things, examine the circumstances leading to the collapse of several financial institutions during the 1990s. This is particularly in relation to the extent to which these circumstances were directly influenced by domestic or external factors, government's fiscal and monetary policies, the management practices and roles of the board of directors of the failed institutions, and the performance of government's regulatory functions. Dr. Clark said, on publication of the archives, the Finance Ministry will issue a special call for scholarly research into these for the purposes of producing scholarly articles and books. Quote, everything that they handed over will be uploaded as is. We want to make sure that the lessons, whatever they are learned. So we want to say, look, this is open to researchers here and abroad. Here's a grant for $1 million, for $500,000 to produce a report, unquote. He said the Finance Ministry, working in collaboration with the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, and the Screen Development Initiative, will also issue a special call to the creative community for proposals for documentaries on the financial sector collapse. Dr. Clark further indicated that there will be a special call to the creative community for proposals for a theatrical production on the financial sector collapse, its causes and effects, produced from the Finsac Commission archives. The minister said more details will be provided following the publishing of the archives. Between 2009 and 2017, approximately $150 million was allocated to the commission. So as you can see, this was paid for by taxpayers. And this is known as the financial holocaust of Jamaica because of the magnitude of the damage that was done. One of the Finsac victims and author of the book Too Black to Succeed, My Finsac Experience, Miss Valerie Dixon, wrote on her Facebook page a day ago, will our young people in particular and others in general ignore the Finsac debacle and tragedy and allow it to happen again due to the lack of knowledge and a don't care attitude? Just look at what happened to our super athlete, Usain Bolt. And guys, I am of the view that the company that rob Usain Bolt. SSL. They are nothing but a criminal organization or a Ponzi scheme. It should be locked down and they should be arrested for what they did to Bolt. So 2 days ago, Miss Valerie Dixon wrote, "We have been reliably informed that the Finsac matter will soon be exposed and revealed to the Jamaican public. Here are some more issues that the president of the Finsac Debtors Associations, Miss Yola Gray Baker, would like the Finsac report to address. Was it mismanagement by the then Ministry of Finance in handling the issues that allegedly prevailed in the banks? 2. Another issue Miss Baker said should be addressed is the alleged fraud that was taking place in the financial institutions where bank representatives were using the debtors' titles to secure loans for themselves without the title owner's knowledge, and in doing so contributed to debts that caused many persons to lose their properties. Who are the members of the two political parties who received properties and other assets at fire scale prices? Who are the members of the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party who received bailouts for their businesses while other debtors received nothing? Why transparency and accountability are so necessary and vital? The revealing of the contents of the Finsac report should ensure that future generations will know that injustices are likely to reoccur when there is no transparency and or accountability on the part of any government. Ms. Baker thinks the Jamaican people need to know that what happened during the Jamaica financial meltdown, and she wants the people to know that there are some who are still suffering over 25 years since the crisis, and there seemed to be no relief or compensation in sight for those who are still alive. Mighty God. The people of Jamaica really, guys, deserve to know what happened. The people who are still alive especially got no closure. And as she said, no compensation. The lady I'm telling you about, Miss Valerie Dixon, an author of the book Too Black to Succeed, she lost her home that she raised her family in. They basically put her out of her house and took it. And her husband lost his business. What a cruel act. So yes, we want to know all those questions that are being asked. I hope that finally there will be some transparency. There's a question asked here, or rather a statement made. She says, "Last one, because my eyes are feeling very tired. Isn't it a fact that the then Minister of Finance, Dr. Omar Davis, knew that the banks were participating in fraud and embezzlement on customers' accounts, and yet the minister failed in his duties to the bank and customers by not protecting their interests and their properties, but rather sold them out to a foreign entity who would subsequently dispose of these properties, leaving the bank customers and debtors pauperized and to suffer at the actions of the minister's policies?" There are a lot of questions to be answered. I personally am looking forward to the Finsac report so I can read it. And I hope that all the patriotic Jamaicans, especially those who were around during that time, and those who just genuinely want to know. It took a long time, but after $150 million, it should be released.
Very, very hard to cope with life like this.
After working hard for several years to build his dream house, he was thrown out in an instant, losing belongings he and his family had spent years accumulating. The Finsac entrepreneur claims his house, which was valued at between $9 and $11 million, was offloaded by Finsac for just $3.5 million.
At the time when the house sold, they said that whole 11 point odd million. And they said they sold it for 3.5, and I still have a balance of 7 point something. Up to now, I don't know if I still owe that money or what happened. I don't know if I have a money in my hand now, if they will come to me for that money, because they say I owe it, and I don't know if it's still growing interest. Because every time we ask for an account, nobody won't give it to us.
Mr. Willis says he ended up being Finsacked because he took a revolving loan from the now defunct Eagle Commercial Bank. However, with the interest rates skyrocketing, he, like many others, found it difficult to keep a pace with the financial demands. Dealing with the emotional toll of Finsac hasn't been easy for many who were forced to start life all over again.
Because although I came into the party through Dr. Omar Davis, because I knew him in the financial sector, where I had been like one of the leading corporate lawyers in Jamaica and very involved in financial engineering. And so when he was Minister of Finance, a lot of the things that required industry input, I was one of the representatives of the industry that he would deal with. I got to know him through that. And that's how I got into the PNP, really, through my relationship with him.
It's done like my money already. Now, big lawyer in this country, big investment banker.
Join me and go with Golden.
Can you imagine?